Hello, Klaus here, and welcome back to yet another video here at the channel. How do you like the new studio, the new look for the videos? I've been working very hard on making a very nice studio here and a very nice set. And of course, that is not true. All of this was made with artificial intelligence or AI. And in this video, I'll show you how you can create your own sets pretty fast and also pretty easy. However, it does require that you have Photoshop, or maybe you have access for Firefly, which is also an Adobe program. However, I'm going to show you how you can do all of this using that application and of course DaVinci Resolve, because there's a lot of videos showing you how you can do this effect, but all of them are more or less using Premiere. And if you are a regular viewer of this channel, you know that I'm not good friends with Premiere. And I just fancy DaVinci Resolve way more. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Create a fake studio using Photoshop Beta and DaVinci Resolve. So without further ado, let's get right to the video. Okay, so let's just get started with this tutorial. First off, we need a piece of footage, and I have that right here, just this little piece of footage. And I did do a very basic color grade on this, and this is going to help us later when we are going to import stuff back into DaVinci Resolve from Photoshop. But for now, this is what we need to do. We need to take a still image of this footage we have here, and we're going to do that by going up to File, and then go down to Export, and we're going to export current frame as a still, save that on the computer, and open that up in Photoshop. Okay, so here we are in Photoshop, and you do need to use the Photoshop Beta to make this general fill expander work here. But first up, let's just go in and we can use the lasso tool, or we can also use the rectangle tool here to add in stuff. So we can just very quickly just do like let's do a square here, and then let's just write something in the general fill, and I want to have a brick wall in background, and I also want it to be out of focus. And I'm just going to go in and hit generate. And let's see what's going on with this stuff here. At least we're going to give it a try. So here it gave us a brick wall, and that's not what I wanted, but something like this is way more suitable. Something like that in the background. And then let's say that's what we want. We can then add in things like we just do a square here. Let's say we want something here. I want to have a green plant, out of focus, for instance. Out of focus. Let's see if we can create that. It's making a green plant here. It's not out of focus, but you know, and I didn't really like any of these, so I can push generate yet again. And then it will generate 3 new options for me. So now I have 6 options to choose from. Maybe we have to change out let's change the word here in put. Let's do that. And we're just going to generate once more. And all of this with the generating can take quite a while, and it also is super helpful if we could kind of be very specific on what we want. So I think this is the best one yet. So let's take that, and then let's write something else. Change color. Okay, and generate. So let's see if it changes the color of this kind of pot it had here. It did. And then we can change the looks. That's really a strange looking one. So maybe we want this instead. Actually, I think that is better. So that is basically how we could work in different objects. One thing to be aware of when creating this fake studio look is to be very cautious around where you put objects and where you're, in this case me, where I am moving my hands, because it's going to break the illusion. If I put a pot here and I've moved my hand for the pot, it's going to break the illusion. So be very aware of how you place things. But again, it is super cool that you can kind of create this look just the way you want it. And this can take quite a while to do some set decorations, but it's really fun to play with. And what I'm going to show you how you can composite this, of course, in DaVinci Resolve, so you have the shot that I did in the opening of the video. And what I did was I did multiple objects, and I exported all of the objects out as PNG files. And I'll show you that in a second over in DaVinci Resolve why I did that. But for now, this is the basic of the Photoshop part. So let's just jump back to DaVinci Resolve and start to do some compositing. Okay, so here we are back in DaVinci Resolve, and here I have the final background I did for my video. And I have the portion of the video clip here where I did talk, and now I want to composite these together. So first off, I'm just going to move my background to video track 1, and I'm going to take my video here of me talking and put that on video track 2, and I'm just going to go to the color page, and in the color page I'm going to take my clip here, and I'm just going to do a super rough mask, just selecting from the window panel here, and I'm going to take a curves mask. And, I'm just going to really do a rough one because I don't think I'm moving that much. So I'm just going to do a super rough mask like this. Something like that. I think that should be good enough. And then, I'm going to right click here at the grid, add an alpha out. And I'm just going to take this blue square and add that into the blue circle. So now we have this composite together, and as we see, I now sit at a different table, which is actually cleaned up as well. Moved out some stuff here, with some dirt and some paint being scraped off. That's all gone from the new shot I did here. And then, of course, I did all of these PNG files. So, for instance, here I have something for the table, and I'm just going to add these on top of each other. And another thing that's super great about using the Photoshop to do all of the artificial intelligence is actually it's going to look at the light on your original shot, and it's going to think about that when it's generating new objects. And on this shot, of course, you can see I have a light source coming in from this side, and that's going to make a shadow, for instance, on this strange camera, which is not a real camera, it's an non-existing camera, by the way. So that's why we can do stuff like that. So it's just a matter of stacking things on top of each other. Here I have the fake 3 camera. I'm going to put that there. Here I have my plant, and I think this is my fake window I have here. And then I have a picture frame, and this is the last picture frame. And now my shot is complete. And more or less that is what you would do. Of course, you can then add in the movements, and you can do that just by going up to the effects and take a adjustment clip, putting that on top of everything. And if you want to make a camera movement, it's just to select the adjustment clip, go up to the inspector, and in the inspector under transform, we can put in some keyframes. If you push the diamond icon up in the top, you're going to put a keyframe from that particular time of your clip, and then you can just go, let's say, go to the end, and then you want it to have zoomed in a bit, and maybe you want it to move up a bit, something like that. Maybe you want it to, I don't know, rotate the angle a bit, something like that. So now we have this shot done with artificial intelligence. If we want to color grade things as well, we could just add an adjustment clip on top of this and just do the color correction to the adjustment clip, so you don't have to do it individual. Also, the main reason why I actually did do the color grade before exporting out the photo is that if I have done it the other way, I would have problems when it came back from Photoshop from PNG files with the borders, but now I don't have any problems because all of the colors do match. That is how you do a fake studio with artificial intelligence. Pretty fast, pretty easy, using DaVinci Resolve and Photoshop Beta. Anyway, I do hope you found this little video useful. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, share it with your friends if you think it would help them out, and if you want to be notified every time there's a new video on this channel, please hit that bell icon down in the corner. Until next time, keep filming, keep learning, and keep sharing.